And we're recording. Good evening, everyone, and a big welcome this evening to the IKoK International Koalition of Krones bi-monthly chat. I'm Essence Ka, founder and one of the Krones of the IKoK, and we are so excited to have everyone here with us this evening. And we very much appreciate everyone being here, whether you're here in no time, no space, or with us live. Thank you. We are so honored. I want to ask the other two Krones to go ahead and introduce themselves before we get started this evening. Ariane.
Hi everybody, I'm Ariane. I'm from the far north of Queensland, where it's a beautiful day with lots of crocodiles out and about. I'm an holistic counsellor, a meditation therapist, energy healer, and many other things. I'm really excited to be here. I'm like buzzing with the energy. Thank you. Kobaha.
Hi everyone, my name is Kobaha. I live in northern Arizona near Sedona. I'm an intuitive spiritual facilitator and crystal therapist. And oh boy, I feel that energy tonight. It's so powerful and so exciting. And I can't wait to share with you so much information too. Over to you, Essence.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, ladies. We really are excited. Oh, I just have to, this is my, I've had this for years, my coffee cup. And I know this is probably backwards. I forget how all that stuff works. Cafe Draco, 100% fire roasted. Gotta love the dragons. Okay, anyway, sorry, just had to do that. A dear friend of mine gave me that years ago. So I've been working with dragons for a few decades. We're going to just leave it at that. Okay, we want to start this evening by saying a very special welcome to some new friends we've made, and we want to say hello to them and tell you a little bit about them. This is, let's see, let me get this right. Mary Crystalline Dimensions and her husband, Billy. And they own, is it Crystalline Dimensions? Is this correct? Okay, am I saying this right? Okay, good. I got a thumbs up, so that's awesome. But we want to let them say hello. We just recently met them. We'll be perfectly honest, made some wonderful treasure finds through them. And they're just the sweetest people, so kind. And we wanted to give our support to them in the work that they do, because they have these amazing treasures that are looking for new homes, and they have the best prices that I've seen in a very long time. So Mary and Billy, we'd like for you to, if you would, say hello and just tell us a little bit about yourselves. Okay, can you find
Hi
that?
everyone. I had to find that unmute button, so hopefully you guys can hear us now. We're actually in the shop right now. We figured this would be a good place to start the conversation up, just for the energy in here, because a lot of the crystals are in here. A lot of the crystals are all over the house, honestly. We started collecting crystals pretty much as soon as we met. Just sort of like opened, for whatever reason, that's the time that they came into our lives. We started collecting skulls, and one of our skulls actually prompted us to start a shop very simply, and this is now our full-time work. So we're really excited to be here and meet all of the Krones. We love you guys already so much. We wanted to offer a special gift with purchase. If you guys want, you can message me here right now if you have any questions, or find us on Facebook. So we'll be giving away with a $20 purchase sectarian nodules. I like to keep these guys together. They've been together for millions of years. They're made from, they call them like mud bubbles, which doesn't sound that cool, but they're calcite and aragonite inside, and some have pyrite as well inside. So we'll be giving those away as a little gift, as a little thank you for having us. And if you ever want to know anything, we're always happy to talk with you personally or go live on Facebook. So we really appreciate being here. We've worked with dragons pretty much as long as we've had crystals too.
Yeah. 7 years now.
Yeah, which is, it sounds, I can't believe it's like a blink of an eye how long we've been working together, but
timeless.
We really love them. They're so protective and loving and
supportive.
Yeah. So we work with a lot of different crystals, but dragons are definitely one of our favorites.
Yeah.
So we wanted to say thank you to everyone. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We'd love to connect with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. So if, like I said, they're just, you know, we have to support each other during this time especially, but we need to do that all the time. And we've just, you know, honestly, we just met Mary and Billy, and they're just amazing. And we really wanted to say thank you and show our support. So with that stated, now I would like to go ahead and we're going to, like I said, because we've got a ton of information and a lot of work we want to do this evening. But before we get started, let's go ahead and do what we do to start every chat. We just want everyone to kind of center themselves and come together. We want to create this safe, energetic space for us to work within. So if everyone would just take a couple of deep breaths and bring yourself to center and focus. And while we are doing that, I am going to read the Metatronic numerology I am keyword phrases associated with the IKoK work. The first one is what we call the heart of the IKoK, and that is the 2266 dual frequency. It says, I am the master of divine balance. Through the remembrance of the singing of the sacred cosmic song of self, I ignite creation of new realities. I am that which rebalances and heals. The heart of the IKoK. The next frequency is the 2277 dual frequency. We call this the work of the IKoK, and it is the 4 cornerstones. I am the form of the sacred structure of collective reality known through the awakened divine rational mind. I build reality upon the foundation whose cornerstones are honor, integrity, responsibility, and expansion of sacred perspective. I am the master builder of collective galactic realities. Okay, we're going to leave that there and begin this work that we've come together for with working within the Dragon's Gate of 2020. We're going to share the information, and then at the end of that information, we will actually take our journey into the Dragon's Gate to do the work that we came to do. I want to let everyone know that while we're recording, this is interactive. So if you do have a question, you can, I call it your little cyber hand at the bottom of your screen. You can find your little cyber hand, you raise your hand and we will see it. Or you can text in the message in the chat box if you have a question or something you want to share. We will be, after we finish recording this evening's chat, we will be staying on after the recording ends and allowing everyone to chat and share if they want to. Okay, so with that, let's get going. All right, Dragon's Gate, opening and energy work. Actually, the Dragon's Gate is now open. This year, it is open. I'm going to explain here in a little bit what the Dragon's Gate is, how it works, all that kind of stuff. Okay. But it is now actually open. It has been open for a little over 3 hours. It is open in totality this year for 14 hours. Everything is always based on UTC time, but for the work, but my local time, I'm in Central Standard Time, just for those who know, is open from 6:11 p.m. on the 21st, which is tonight, to 8:11 a.m. on the 22nd. The UTC times are 011 UTC to 1411 UTC, just for those who might want that information for whatever purpose it might benefit them. There's a Metatronic numerology frequency that is the base frequency of this year's Dragon's Gate. And that is the 111 dual frequency. And this one is, I always say, I'll tell you the I am keyword phrase in a second, but this one I always say, okay, here's what this one's really saying to you. It's saying, damn the torpedoes and full speed ahead. We got work to do, let's go. All right. So, but the Metatronic numerology I am keyword phrase for the 111 dual frequency, now that's 1-11, not 111, just so it's known, okay, is I am independence birthed when truth is illumined through the light of spiritual revelation. And what this is saying to us, this frequency, okay, and those of you who follow my work know when I share frequency information like on my website or Facebook and post or something, I usually give a little readout of what, you know, in the interpretation to explain it a bit better. And this is just a little bit for this one, this 111 dual. This frequency is a propulsion force for the continued spiritual awakening of the individual. Yet here, although we are speaking of the individual human, this is really more about the individual consciousness of the collective consciousness of humanity. At this level, we are perceiving from and speaking from here. This frequency is about giving assistance to us in recognizing our personal truth as the individual we are. And this in turn helps us begin learning what it means to stand in our own power, and gives us energetic assistance in being brave enough to do so in order to aid the collective from a conscious mind perspective. This frequency is the frequency of the free thinker. It directs and guides us to a fuller truth of what our reality really is and how it works. This frequency pushes us to always be looking for a fresh look at how we interact with and within our reality, and how we are always consciously and subconsciously creating it, both individually and collectively. This frequency has us to always be looking for that new pathway we can take into an expanded reality experience. To use an old Earth maxim, this is the energy of damn the torpedoes and full speed ahead. Okay. All right. So that is the baseline frequency of this year's Dragon's Gate 2020. Okay. I'm just going to go through my notes here and we're just going to keep moving because like I said, we've got a lot of information. Okay. Why this year's Dragon's Gate is so special and significant. Okay. Before we go into detail here, I want to talk a bit about why this year's Dragon Gate is so special and significant. With the work we're going to be doing here now inside the Open Dragon's Gate of 2020, we are beginning over 2 decades of sacred activations. The activations and energy work in the next 2 decades are set in specific sequence, each one utilizing particular frequencies distinct to them. This creates a weaving of cosmic frequencies and energies, a sacred pattern that weaves the template upon which we are to begin building a new collective reality, one that will eventually lead humanity into its intergalactic future. The first of these sacred activations is what we are here to do in the 2020 Dragon's Gate and the work that we're going to be doing before this chat is over. So that is why this year's Dragon's Gate especially is so significant. Okay. So what is the Dragon's Gate? The Dragon's Gate is a long forgotten ancient future intergalactic portal with the movement associated with the movement into and through collective golden age cycles. The Dragon's Gate during the years it's open, and we're going to get into some more detailed information a little further in, okay, brings updated codes and information specifically relevant to golden age cycles, one of which we are currently just beginning to move into, really just beginning to move towards it, okay. The information brought to us by the Dragon's Gate comes to us from our multi-universal great central sun consciousness. It travels here to us via a very specific pathway, one that connects into 11 other galactic consciousnesses before moving into our Milky Way galaxy. This very specific pathway connecting 12 galactic consciousnesses, one of which is our Milky Way, is the embodiment of our collective galactic oversoul. It is the collective galactic oversoul energy matrix grid in which our reality emanates and exists within. Okay, during the 2015 Lionsgate, okay, we're going to talk more detail about all of what's been transpiring later on. But during the 2015 Lionsgate, the Dragon's Gate made its first appearance in several thousand years. Because remember, it's only associated with golden age cycles. But it didn't open. It appeared in 2015, but it didn't open. Its initial opening occurred during the 2016 Lionsgate, where in linear time, it remained open for a 4-hour period, 2 hours prior and 2 hours after 12 noon UTC. From 2016 through 2019, the Dragon's Gate portal remained open for incrementally longer and longer periods of time, and it is still following that pattern until, like I told you just a little bit earlier, this year it is open for 14 hours, okay? Before I go any further into more details about the Dragon's Gate, first I want to share with you how I came to know about the Dragon's Gate. Then I'm going to ask the other two Krones to share their first experiences with traveling into the Dragon's Gate. They've been working with me since before the first opening in 2016, and they have some interesting personal experiences themselves with the Dragon's Gate. Experiences that I believe will help you understand a little bit better more what the Dragon's Gate is and kind of what you may expect to experience in some ways, in your way, personal to you, as we travel into this Dragon's Gate. All right. How I came to know about it. Okay, on August 8th, 2015, during the Lionsgate of that year, that is when I came to know about the Dragon's Gate. I had already been doing, for several years, writing Lionsgate reports based on my work with Metatronic numerology and working with my guides and posting it to my website and Facebook and stuff like that. I was always very fond of working with the Lionsgate energy and the work that was capable of being done during that yearly portal opening. I don't remember exactly what I was working on writing on August 8th of 2015, but I do remember I was at my computer writing away and anticipating the exact noon moment of the Lionsgate that year. Just like every other year, I had already set my altar and done everything my guides had instructed me to do, and was simply passing the day writing whatever frequency report was next, because there's always another frequency report. So as I sat at my computer writing, I want to say about an hour before exact noon, I heard instructions coming from the Q4. Q4 is just the term I use for my crew, my spiritual guides and higher self that I work with, that I was to be outside standing in an exact spot on my property facing east at exactly noon. They were instructing me to be in that position with my phone in my hand, facing east at exact noon on the Lionsgate of 2015, because I was to point my camera at the sun and take a picture at exact noon, okay? My first thoughts were, well, okay, I won't be able to look directly at the sun, so how am I going to know? And isn't that going to like probably burn out my camera? But I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it, you know. I mind them better than I do others. I'm not real good at minding some people, but you know, that's I think a personality problem maybe. Okay, nevertheless, I did as I was instructed. Well, guess what? Just moments before the sun went behind a cloud. But I did what I was supposed to do anyway, and wow, I was so shocked at the picture that emerged. I have shared that picture, okay, a couple of them on Facebook. I've shared it every year at the Lionsgate since, because it was so amazing. But anyway, so I snapped the picture, and there in the image on the left was a dragon, a fire-breathing dragon. And on the right, facing him, was an image of Chakchel, the Krone aspect of the Mayan goddess Ixchel. But the really amazing thing was in between them was the Dragon's Gate portal. They had actually come together to open the Dragon's Gate. And if you see those pictures, to me, there's absolutely no denying that that's who and what was transpiring. So after seeing what had emerged, oh, by the way, I had the one picture I had that I'd always shown, and I, you know, had the information on. You could see the dragon, because I obviously I took several pictures, just, you know, click, 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 you know, like that. And you know how quickly clouds and things like that change and move. But I stayed in that same position, and they were literally click, 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 one right after the other. And so it was in that instant that it was so clear, but I could see clearly the lion. And then the one picture, and that's the one I used in the beginning, you could see the lion the dragon most clearly in that, but it was a little hard to see Ixchel or Chakchel. But I went back this morning because I knew I had that picture somewhere. And I went back and I found the picture where you could see both of them clearly. And that's why there's the two images on what I've shared on Facebook. So the one where you see the dragon more clearly, but then the second one, the one that's below that, is the one that where you can see the dragon and Chakchel. Okay. So after seeing what emerged in that image, I immediately called a meeting with the Q4 and asked what this was all about. And that's when the information about the Dragon's Gate began to flow in, what it was, what it's about. And that's what began my journey with the Dragon's Gate and sharing this amazing information with those who are interested in the Dragon's Gate and working with it. So that's how the Dragon's Gate information got started and how I learned about it. Now I'm going to ask, and we didn't, I don't know which one of the ladies decided they want to go first. So, you know, one of y'all decide. I see both of them over there going, I don't care, you know. Okay, Kabaha, you want to go first then? All right. So they're going to share now their personal experiences with the first journey into, oh, before you start, Kabaha, what they're sharing is back in 2016, Kira and I, when I was still working with Kira, we actually did a guided meditation. You can also find this guided meditation. I've shared it in the event. I've shared it on my website, and but it's on SoundCloud because it's just an audio, but it's a guided meditation into the Dragon's Gate that we did in 2016. So if you want to do that, of course, we're going to be doing one this evening in just a little bit. That's for 2020, but that one is available too. Okay, now, so this is what they are sharing, their first journey in 2016 into the Dragon's Gate. Kabaha.
Thank you. There is a sense of excitement as we are now deep into the Dragon's Gate. I remember vividly my initial experience when I entered the Dragon's Gate for the first time back in 2016. The energy felt very different compared to the energy I experienced during the Lion's Gate. The Lion's Gate is about the divine masculine energy based on thoughts, actions, and beliefs. As for the Dragon's Gate, it is about the divine feminine energy, representing intuition, patience, nurturing, and healing. It is the representation of growth, not just in a physical way, but also emotionally and spiritually. The energy I experienced during the initial opening of the Dragon's Gate in 2016 was very powerful, with a noticeable difference. It felt exciting, but daunting at the same time. I felt that the task required of me was going to be huge. During the actual meditation of the initial opening of the Dragon's Gate, I was shown images. One representing Lemurian starseed crystals. I could see the grooves on the crystals, and it was the confirmation they were indeed Lemurian starseed crystals. The second image was an open book, and the third one was associated with a peaceful place, a temple in lush surroundings and waterfalls. I took on board the information that was given to me, but I didn't understand the messages until recently. I had the sense that the messages were connected to future energy work. I found not long ago some notes in one of my spiritual journals, and I started to put the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together. The grooves or markings on the Lemurian starseed crystal contain a hidden message for the bearer to decode. Our soul and higher self will recognize the information meant for us and download it to our subconscious, where it will be stored until the right moment arrives for it to permeate our conscious life. The information, the knowledge, was represented by the book shown to me during the meditation. As for the image with a temple in a peaceful place in lush surroundings and waterfalls, I felt it had two meanings. It represented the lost land of Lemuria, but after further research, I also found out it was also associated to future energy work connected to the Emerald Core. I remember that in 2018, specifically on August 11th, I took part in the release of etheric energy core of Earth Gaia out of the Dragon's Gate portal. It was released from the ancient future temple of the soul, the temple I saw during the meditation. The release was in preparation to the first activation phase that is going to begin in September, on the 22nd this year, September equinox. It took me that long to understand and make sense of the clues I was given during the initial opening of the Dragon's Gate in 2016. So that's my experience. That's what you may experience tonight. Visuals, energies, you name it, but don't worry. If you don't understand all the information, one day it's going to click. That's my experience. Over to you, Oriane.
Thank you, Kobaha. There's a lot of similarities about my experience and a lot of things that are very different as well. And I'd like to bet I can't get through this without Essence laughing. All right, so in 2016, as we know, the Dragon's Gate opened for the very first time, and I was honoured to be asked to be one of those first people to enter in there. I was a bit bemused about the thought of actually entering, because I hadn't long been on my spiritual journey. And actually, bemused is wrong. I was totally gobsmacked, but because I didn't think I was ready. And you guys may not think you're ready either, but that really is irrelevant. If you're here, there's a message for you in some manner, because I needed to be there to hear the message that I got. Essence gave us lots of instructions about how to enter into the Lion's Gate and the Dragon's Gate, and how to come away from there as well. That was quite important. And I was a bit green behind the ears, and I was filled with confidence, because I had not long found out that I come from a certain star system within Andromeda, and I knew without any doubt whatsoever that I was going home at the end of this life. Absolutely, that was it. I've gone through heaps, there she goes, she's laughing. I've gone through heaps and heaps of trauma in my life, and I'd had enough, happy to go home. And I went into the Dragon's Gate and I was given a lot of information. Some of it was unconscious, but the only thing I really fixated on was the fact that I wasn't going home after all. I was devastated. My world fell to pieces. It rocked. I was awful. Essence is howling with laughter now because every time this comes up, it's good cause for a laugh because how she had to pick up the pieces. So it was like, I was in a really, really bad way. I wasn't going to go home at all. I was devastated. So basically what had happened was that I'd been told I had a new job. I had thought my work was complete, and that is not untrue either, because like many starseeds, the work we initially signed up to come here for actually was completed. And starseeds have a choice whether they decide that that's the end of their work, whether they're going to renew their contract or whether they take on a new sacred contract. And basically that's what I ended up doing. I was told that I was going to be here for many, many more incarnations, that I have specific work that I need to do. And I accepted that a new sacred contract, which is for this reality and beyond. Now, I was new on my journey. I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't understand a whole lot about this. I was just like floored. And I was given some job information. I was given a job title, which was like so out there that I disregarded it. And I didn't tell anybody until earlier this year. I mentioned that job title to Essence because I now see where all the threads and the information and the knowledge is going. And I see that this work is very likely to happen in the next couple of years. It will start. I've been in preparation ever since. So basically, when I went into the Dragon's Gate, I didn't even know that I was starseed. I didn't really know what starseed meant. I received that information that floored me, but I also received what we term packets of information. So information that was like implanted, ready for when I was at the right state and the right stage to need that information. One of those things is actually the remembrance that I am starseed, the full remembrance. We actually talk of being starseed having a human experience. That's a fairly common phrase we hear all over the place, but we actually act as if we're human having a starseed experience. We're human who is also starseed. And when you really start that deep remembrance, you realize that that reality has been flipped. So I am starseed. I am not human. I'm here. And my humanity is a bit like putting on a set of clothes that's going to last me this reality, but I can't change them for fresh ones as these wear out. I can see someone else there saying, yeah, I understand that one. That's great. So my initial entry into the Dragon's Gate was really intense. It was distressing in the deepest way. It was really confusing, but I didn't understand really what was happening. And some of that information trickled through, those packets of information opened as I needed them. And you might also feel a similar sort of thing as you go into the Dragon's Gate. Anything can pretty much happen, but what will happen will be of benefit ultimately. If you don't feel as if you're experiencing very much, that might be the case, or it may be that you're having packets of information, knowledge, placed for future reference when you need it. You might suddenly go, ah, I know that, aha moment, or have this sudden inspiration about something that seems like, whoa, where did that come from? That could be one of these packets from the Dragon's Gate opening up. You may not get any, you might just get information, whatever. Everyone's journey is different. But whatever your experience, whether it's amazing and uplifting or devastating, the information that you receive is really very much what you need to move forward, where you need to go. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ariane. Yeah, I love that story. It's always worth a giggle. But But you know, it's worth a giggle because even I remember, I remember early on, many years ago in this lifetime, like, oh yeah, I'm so done here. Yeah, right.
I think most athletes actually go through that phase, don't they? Where they go, yeah, I'm good one after this one, last ride.
Yeah, it's the cry of the neophyte. That's what I call it.
Yeah. But thank you, Essence. I don't think I've ever completely said that, but thank you. You picked up the pieces and I'm still here.
Well, you did. You did the work. So yeah. But yeah. But it was an amazing journey. So Kabaha mentioned in her telling her story of her personal experience, she mentioned something about the Emerald Core. This is more information we'll be working with. This is also work that I've led in years past. There's so much going on here this evening, okay, with this Dragon's Gate. Reality is shifting. I think everybody, even if we just come back down to what's happening in mainstream reality, as we call it, you know, everyday life with this crazy global pandemic situation and, you know, all of that, we come back, we realize exactly how much this reality is changing. It's what is going on. Okay. And I'm not taking away, we've done past chats on, you know, what's going on there and but remember, myself and my work and the Krones and the IKoK, our work is the energy work. We work on the energy levels. We are looking past and beyond. We're not taking away from the physical, because just like the two other Krones have stated here, we are starseed camouflaged in human form. Okay, but that does not take away from the fact that we have to acknowledge and participate in the human perspective and journey. It's a great balancing act. Okay. Information. We're going to move. We're going to flow the information. Okay. If you've been following the IKoK or my work here recently, especially, you've probably seen and heard us talk about the fact, and even the last chat we did, there was a lot of information about why the Lion's Gate is no longer relative. And I know that's like one of those things. What? You know, even for me, when I, you know, first found that out. And to say it simply right here to start with, before we start throwing out a little bit of more specific information about that, why, what that is because reality is changing. We are template builders. We're energy workers. Okay. There's got to be a template built for the new collective reality. A template is a bare bones structure. All right. That has to come first and foremost before anything. It has to, you can look at it as template builders they come before way showers and trailblazers, because even way showers and trailblazers are showing the way in and blazing the trail in to the new template. The new template is simply the bare bones. It's like, if you're a Trekkie, you can use the image of the holodeck, the grid. Okay, that's a real simple way to look at it, but it's really a lot like that. It's the template upon which the new collective reality can be built. That's the work we're doing. That's what the Dragon's Gate is about. And it's not just about this collective anymore. Okay, when I say this collective, I'm talking about the collective consciousness of humanity, of Earth, because now 2020 is the year humanity goes galactic. We are beginning our journey into the stars. And when I say into the stars, I'm talking physically. Okay. Yeah. Next week, are we flying? No. All right. But it has already begun. All right. And the energy work has to be done. The template has to be done. There's a lot of work that has to be done. We already know that we have got over 2 decades of work, energy work, specific activations in specific sequences that have to be accomplished. Okay. Lot of information here, a lot of information. We're just really going to be talking about tonight the Dragon's Gate, from August 22nd, which is basically because everything that we do is based on UTC time. And then we just have to calculate to our local times. So we're really, like we said, the Dragon's Gate is already open. So August 22nd through September 22nd, we have 4 major activations. 4. First one starts tonight. Okay. There's going to be, so just to recap real quick. All right. Just to let you know, on the 7th of September, we have the first of 3 of the planetary Earth Star Chakra. We'll be doing that work on the 7th of September. On the 11th of September, we have the second of 3 because we did the first one last year on September 11th of the planetary Soul Star Chakra. Okay. Now, and then it won't be until 2022, but then we're going to start 3 in 2022. We're going to start 3 activations. Okay. Because all 4 of these that we're talking about, all 4 of them have 3 activations each, okay, that have to be done in certain places. Remember, it's a sequence of activations that's creating the pattern for the template that we're building. All right. Over 20 years, we're looking at basically, you got to remember, over 2 decades of work that spans approximately between the years 2020, 2019, really, because we did that first one, but we can say 2020 and 2044. It sounds very futuristic. I know, at least it does to someone like me, but it's really not. It's really not. But, and you also have to remember, we have to allow for slight date variations because of energy fluctuations due to several factors, including collective decisions and just simply the fact that the universe doesn't actually use our calendar. We kind of forget that sometimes, but how it translates into our reality system, that's a basic, oh, y'all can hear my puppies. Sounds like my daughter and my grandbaby are home. But hey, at least we're not in the Dragon's Gate. Okay. Let's see. So we've got this, and then so we had that third one I was telling you about that will be, it won't be till September 22nd of 2022. Okay, we're going to start. That'll be the first of 3 of the planetary Zeal chakra. All right, but this September 22nd, this equinox on September 22nd, we have the initial activation of the Emerald Core. Now, back in 2018, and if you go to my website, if you're interested, or you'd just like to have that information to know it, we did. Once again, it was 3 activations during 2018, but these weren't activations. These were seedings, what are called seedings. It was actually the Emerald Core, to say it very simply, the Emerald Core. Everyone's familiar with the crystalline core. All right. The Emerald Core is the next energetic core of Earth. Go to my website, read about it. We will be talking more about it, but that's for another chat. I don't want to get too bogged down into information that's not relevant tonight. But we did 3 seedings of that energetic core. We're going to leave that there because on the 22nd of September, we're going to actually be doing that work, and we'll share that information, all that's there. Okay. Then, so we're basically looking at between, because the last activation of the Zeal chakra, okay, which is the last planetary transpersonal chakra of these 3 that are a part of this first phase, which we're starting tonight, okay, with this Dragon's Gate work. The Zeal chakra, the last one, will not be completed until 2028. So with that stated, we know that approximately between 2028 and 2030, we will then begin, because once all the planetary transpersonal chakras and the Emerald Core are fully activated, then we're going to begin the process of connecting with, opening, and activating the planetary stellar gateway chakra, star chakra point. All right, a lot of information there, but that's just to kind of give you an idea. We just want you to have an idea of the magnitude of this work that you all are being a part of right now, here and now. Okay. Let's see. I'm just looking at my notes here. Okay, I feel that right here, because there's more information that I want to give, detailed information about the Dragon's Gate, but not really until we're at the point where we're getting ready to actually move into the meditation to journey into it. So I know that both of the other Krones have some more information they want to share this evening. So I'll let them go ahead and do that. And then we'll finish up with just the rest of the information that I want to share about the Dragon's Gate before we move into the work. Okay, so which one of you ladies would like to go first this time? Okay, y'all are going to have to start drawing straws before the program or something.
Yeah, we are really. We need to plan that little bit a bit better.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So this is the animal medicine for today. Which also leads us right through till the 30th of August. And the animal that's joining us today is another Australian native, one that is really cute, very cuddly looking, likes to play, runs around the field like a dog. She's also the biggest burrowing animal on the planet. Her other things of interest is that she has a pouch that's like back to front, which helps to stop dirt and snow and things getting into hitting her baby. And this is one which will give you a picture in your brain you'll never lose. She's, Essence is laughing once again. She poos something like 100 times a day, and they're cubes. This animal is wombat. She does cubed poos. And that's so that she protects her home from predators by making piles of these, and if she does a round poo, it just rolls away. So she does a cube poo. I found that fascinating.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. You have to admit, that is like one of those facts that you don't really need, but it's just so like, oh, wow. Okay, I will not ever forget that. Okay.
I really debated about whether to put that in or not, and I thought, no, give Essence a good laugh. All right then, so this animal is wombat, and she loves to dig. She digs into her burrow, which, although she lives alone, it still has as many as 12 rooms. She builds a big home for one animal. She's strong, she's solid, she's a weighty animal, she's about 1 meter long, and because of her shape and her cuddly locks, and the fact that she tends to doze all day and just comes out at sunset, she's generally seen as pretty docile, lazy even. But really, she's very much underestimated. She's actually very fast. She's very intelligent. She's obstinate, assertive. She has a very short temper. And anyone who tries to infiltrate her home finds out that she can be very aggressive as well. So wombat is very grounded. She's earth energy. And she tells us that there are times when we need to defend our home. And home in this instance can refer not just to the physical structure or to your community, but to emotional and spiritual information and knowledge as well. It's the foundation of self, of who you are. And wombat is asking, are you being underestimated? Underestimated by others, or maybe even by yourself? And in the same way that wombat creates her burrow, you create your world. And you have the tools that you need to create it, to defend, or even to destroy your world. Wombat medicine tells us that you know who you are and what you can do, and you can defend your home without fear, exaggeration, or drama. You can stand your ground and maintain your frequency. Wombat spends a lot of time in her burrow and says she only comes out at sunset to eat. She's very solitary. And this is telling us that there are times when we need to withdraw, when we need to have time to contemplate what we are and where we need to be. There's a time for self-exploration, but there's also a time to emerge into the real world. Last week we spoke of the collective and the many individuals that form the collective entering into a dark night of the soul. This is the equivalent of us burrowing in like wombat or cicada. Cicada visited with us last week. And if you remember, cicada spends 17 years in her burrow before she emerges. Personally, I entered my burrow, my dark night of the soul, in 2014 and only fully emerged last year. My dark night of the soul was a part of the learning curve that I needed to go through in order to prepare for the work that I was shown I had to do in the Dragon's Gate in 2016, my new sacred contractual work. Cicada and wombat both live deep in the earth as a place of rest, growth, and the gaining of knowledge, and they do it alone. For humanity, we're going to feel as if we're burrowing in deep too. We've already started this process by cutting contact with other people in social media, social distancing, wearing masks, becoming fearful of the people that we meet. The stripping away process of the dark night of the souls extended into lockdowns, self-isolation, quarantines, and it's not going to be over in the next few weeks or months. It won't even peak until we step out of the 777 days of tears. That's in September 2022. We've got a long way to go, and life can become very tricky. But we have to trust the process. We have to do the work, and we have to hold the space that humanity will see its way forward towards that golden age. That's what the Dragon's Gate is heralding. That's what this work is about. It's about having the time. The Dark Night of the Soul is about having the time to prepare, to be ready for the emergence. We need to maintain the highest frequency that we can. We can't submit to the pull of ego and the shadow side forces of light. We're doing the prep work, and it's not going to be over in a very short period of time. It's going to take a while. And throughout all of this, we have to trust. We have to trust each other. We have to trust self, especially ourself. We have to learn to understand ourself as we watch all that we hold dear being stripped away. We have to learn while we're in our dark place that this is time to remember, to truly remember why we were here, and so much more. Dragon's Gate has been in preparation in order to transition from the Lion's Gate. And likewise, we have to prepare for the collective emergence that will happen. Because when it does happen, it will be a collective reality experience rebirth. Wombat and cicada both have information that helps us with that emergence, so we can prepare for it. Both of these animals emerge at the time that's right for them. So with wombat, it's every evening at sunset. He's like the cycles in the Dark Night of the Soul, where you come out of it and then you fall back down. You go out and you emerge and you fall back into it. Cicada just sits there in her dark burrow for 17 years, learning, growing, and at the right time and in perfect coordination with the rest of her community, she emerges. This Dragon's Gate, we're opening the second chamber of the planetary throat chakra, and with all the energies and the frequencies of burrowing and emerging, we see so many opposites. Essence, did you want to say something in there? No? The frequencies of burrowing and emergencies are the energies that we're seeing so many opposites. Okay, we're seeing calmness and we're seeing tension. We're seeing stillness and we're seeing activity. Opposites like this create an energy, a propulsion force. And currently we're all burrowed in. We need to concentrate on that quiet time, that period of stillness. We need to create that stillness in order to have the opportunity to gain knowledge, to grow and hold space. We need to seek to calm our energies during this period. The tension that's building in the throat chakra as the collective and the individuals that form the collective learn to speak their truth, ready for emerging. Aboriginal Dreamtime stories consider wombat to be a worthless animal. Don't be underestimated, as she often is. Wombat knows her worth. She's telling you that you too are worthy. She knows when to burrow in and when to emerge. She knows what she's doing within that burrow. and she knows what she needs to do when she emerges. She is one bat. She knows her strengths and what she's capable of. She stands firm, reveals her strengths, and protects her home with the tools at her disposal. And we, as starseeds, can do no less. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ariane. That was beautiful. I want to share right here real quick before I turn this over to Kobaha, because this fell in there. Remember, the work that we're doing here with the Dragon's Gate, this is galactic and intergalactic work. It is template building on a galactic and intergalactic scale, okay, to state it simply. What feels relevant to say right here, because of what Ariane was just speaking of, is Tao Pen, an aspect of self of mine that I work with, told me just on the 20th, so what, just yesterday really, about the knowledge that our galaxy, are currently entering into what would be called a cosmic equinox. This is related most directly. A lot of this, okay, I know a lot of this may not make a lot of sense, but we're sharing information, okay, because all of these activations that I've told you about just between now and the end of September, or 22nd of September, are all related. And if you're doing the work with us, this will all come together and make sense, okay? But I really feel that this needs to be shared here. So we're entering, our galaxy, okay, is entering into what we would call a cosmic equinox. This is related most directly to the Dragon's Gate, the Emerald Core activation, and the Magellanic Magnetic Field alignment our Milky Way galaxy is now in, and will be in for approximately 2 million years. Okay? This is associated with Virgo and Spica, which is where we're moving, you could say, with the Dragon's Gate as it's moved. And I'm going to share the details on that in a minute after Kobaha's finished, because this is why, I'll be explaining why in the template building for the new collective reality that we're beginning with this work, in this Dragon's Gate, the Lion's Gate is no longer relative work. All right. I'm not taking away from it. Believe you me, I've worked hard for many years within the Lion's Gate, written about it extensively, okay? But what it is this. Let me find it. The reason why it's no longer relative. Navari of the Intergalactic Governance Board explained this to us back in the last chat. I talked about this. She's saying the dates of activations and traditional alignments that are still significant for use in the creation of your collective reality are shifting to fit with the creation of the choosing and the creating of a new collective reality experience. These things, activations, traditions, etc., are pieces of the energy weavings that create and maintain collective reality experiences. If you continue adhering to the old alignments, to the old planetary energy alignments, you keep recreating and maintaining the same reality experience. A little bit more detail in a little bit, but that is the basics of why the Lion's Gate is no longer relative to this work with the Dragon's Gate, and where we're going as template builders, galactic and intergalactic template builders, okay, for basically what is to come. Remember, we're talking galactic and intergalactic. So I'm not taking away from, I want that clearly understood. I am not taking away from, because there are still many wonderful teachers out there, okay, who share great information associated with the Lion's Gate, and that is their work, and that work is relative there. But that is still maintaining the weaving of the same collective realities. We're going to use a little bit simpler terminology to explain it. what they're doing, what that work is doing with the Lionsgate, where the Lionsgate work is still used, it is constantly creating, weaving, and maintaining 5D reality. We just moved into 5D as a collective. Remember, at the shift of the 12-21-12. So there's a long way for this collective to go through, but the work that I do, the work that I'm called to do, the work that the IKoK does, we are template builders for the next, what is to come. And that is galactic and intergalactic. Okay. And when I say galactic and intergalactic, I know it sounds crazy right here and now at this point in linear time for this collective, but I'm literally talking about physically traveling through the stars. Okay. With our physical forms. All right. I think that's, I'm going to leave that there and turn it over to you now. Kabaha. Thank you.
Thank you, Essence. Now, looking at the, as Essence just mentioned, looking at the collective consciousness of humanity at the moment, it is hard to believe that 2020 is the year humanity goes galactic. The 2020 Dragon's Gate represents the start of the creation of a new reality for the collective consciousness of humanity. Building the template with the activation, building an intergalactic energy grid, and reactivating the intergalactic communication. Humanity is entering a collective dark night of the soul. It is one of the most challenging times, but it can also be an essential part of the process of creating a new reality for the collective. This collective karmic imbalance is being brought to the surface of the conscious mind of humanity at this time, because we are now ready to begin taking on clearing it and rebalancing its effects as a collective. This phase is so important. We are to birth a new reality for the collective consciousness of humanity. This collective dark night of the soul will peak in September 2022. There could be a sense of hopelessness on a collective level, but it could ignite a spark of hope. This period is part of the 777 days of tears, which started from July 22nd this year. After I drew the cards last week for today's chat, a clear message started to emerge from them. And here are the cards. I decided to use the Starseed Oracle deck. Okay. And the two cards I emerged, the message was so clear. Trust where you are led. Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Here are the cards there. So as light workers, star seeds, we are required to find our inner strength, our inner power, our inner warrior. This is the time to step into that position of becoming our own leader, take ownership of our soul purpose, have faith in ourselves and in our capabilities. We need to disconnect for a short while on a daily basis from our mundane world and get back in touch with what our life's purpose is. We as Starseeds light workers have an opportunity now to be of service, to step up and into service now in the way that is right for us. We are not here to save humanity. We are here to raise our vibration and hold space for the collective consciousness of humanity to create a new reality. When we share and hold space for others to share, we work together collectively in harmony. Some of us feel that stepping outside our comfort zone can be scary. I do agree. It can be daunting. There is no one on earth who comes close to possessing your unique combinations of skills, gifts, and life experience. It is time for service. So, how do we get to that place of empowerment? How are we going to travel through this collective dark night of the soul? Well, as a simple answer, we need to do some serious inner work. like, for example, strengthening our high heart chakra, throat chakra, and solar plexus. But before I start talking in more details about this specific work, I need to remind you that it is so important to work on the alignment of the 7 main chakras. It is necessary that the 7 main chakras are aligned in preparation for the high heart work and the solar plexus work. Without this initial work, the strengthening and activation of the high heart chakra and the solar plexus wouldn't be effective. So, first of all, I'm going to concentrate on the work on the high heart chakra and throat chakra. The high heart chakra is also referred to as thymus chakra or the higher heart chakra. It connects the emotions of divine love, compassion with detachment, truth, forgiveness, and release of fear with the area where language originates, allowing you to speak from the heart. This is the reason why we are going to strengthen the high heart chakra and the throat chakra, which is the chakra associated with communication and self-expression. The high heart chakra is an important area of the body because its energy is extremely helpful to everyone who wants to ensure that the way they communicate is compassionate towards others. The high heart chakra is located in the upper chest between the heart and the throat chakra. This chakra is associated with the thymus gland, one of the earliest glands that developed the fetus in the womb. This gland is related to the immune system and has within it the patterning for your DNA and your karmic design for this lifetime, including past life information. This chakra represents the bridge between your emotions and your intellect. It is where you find the thymus gland, and it is the primary gland that aids the immune system. As I mentioned early on, the benefits to the physical body by assisting the chakra to begin to open up and its energy to expand. This chakra governs the immune system. Its vibration helps during infection, especially influenza. The energy helps to improve the general well-being of the physical body. It helps those who suffer with feelings of general irritability, and it has a calming action that helps to create more restful sleep. The energy from this chakra may flow up into the throat chakra, where it may help with communication and loss of voice. By voicing your true feelings, you may heal ongoing problems within the throat. Once you begin to work with the energy of this chakra, you may find yourself being open to more loving touches, hugging, and general demonstration of the loving feelings that are flowing more freely through your body. This energy will flow through to all aspects of your life. As you work with this chakra energy, you will find that you will begin to live your life more in line with what your higher self desires for you. This relates to what you planned before you came here to this earth in this incarnation. If you have wondered what your life purpose is, working with the energy of the high heart chakra may help you to find out exactly what that is. This is a chakra that has been neglected in the past. But now, during this collective dark night of the soul, we have the opportunity to expand and activate this chakra in order to raise our vibration and do the work we are here to do. For the ones who are interested and committed to do this work, if you follow the initial advice of aligning the 7 main chakras, you will make a quick progress working on the high heart chakra and the throat chakra. You will be intuitively guided when to start the work on activating the solar plexus. With that stated, I would highly suggest, as a general rule, before you start the work on expanding your solar plexus, commit to the initial work on the high heart chakra and the throat chakra for at least 6 months. Now onto the solar plexus. The solar plexus can be found in your body directly below the sternum, over the stomach. This is the chakra that is masculine in nature and carries the yang energy. This is where you find your strength, your inner warrior. It is ignited by the element of fire, the energy from the sun, and is considered to be seen as the yellow chakra. This is the chakra of empowerment, the center of a person's identity. It governs all the aspects of one's personality and the ego. This is where you find your personal power, self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem, and find your strength to make your own decision. The solar plexus is the regulator of your inner knowing, allowing you to follow your gut instincts, the ability to speak your truth. This is a chakra that will ignite the fire in your belly. This is one area of the body that is really affected by stress. If your solar plexus is blocked or depleted, you may find that you lack energy. Lack of flow into this chakra can be manifested as depression, being fearful, insecure, or being more introverted. Physically, a blocked solar plexus can be seen as having issues with the stomach, the digestive system, or even back problems. Now, the solar plexus is the source of empowerment, personal power, the energy of storehouse of our body. It is vitally important to us in many ways. Now, as a conclusion, before I'm going to share my personal experience, as a starseed light worker, by strengthening the high heart chakra, the throat chakra, and the solar plexus, you will not only find that you begin to live your life more in line with your soul purpose, but you will also find that inner power, inner fire, and courage to step outside your comfort zone, raising your vibration and holding space for the collective consciousness of humanity to create a new reality. You will also trust where you are led on your spiritual journey during this challenging phase. And we, as the collective consciousness of humanity, when we reach the stage of total despair, of hopelessness, it will be followed by a trigger, igniting the spark of hope, the fire in the belly needed to move off the dark night of the soul. Okay, now, for the people who are really committed and interested about the work on the high heart chakra and the throat chakra, you are welcome to join our group, the IKoK group, the International Koalition of Krones. And there I posted about a week ago a video giving you all the instructions on how to do the work on the strengthening of the high heart chakra. It's meditation. You're going to be using as well crystals, and you will be doing a meditation listening to solfeggio, high frequency sound music as well. So if you are interested, don't hesitate, you can join us. Some of our members started already to do the work, and the feedback has been amazing. And thank you very much for the members who are here doing the work, because it's absolutely amazing. Now, I'm going to share with you my experience because, yeah, it was worth it. I started working on my high heart chakra just over a year ago. And the trigger was going to one of my favorite crystal shops in Sedona. And I saw a crystal I never seen before. And when I saw the properties, I was quite intrigued and asked the sales assistant about it. And it was kunzite. Okay. And I hold that crystal, and I felt an amazing energy, and it was like almost take me home. So I did. And I knew, well, may not be working with you for now, but I'll wait. But I didn't wait that long anyway. About 2 to 3 weeks later, I did some research and suddenly realized that Spirit was guiding me to work on my high heart chakra. Why? Well, Freddie was doing a good job. Kobaha was doing a good job doing daily oracle cards in her group, sharing some knowledge, some wisdom. But yeah, I was hiding somewhere. I was hiding. And Spirit said, no, now you need to share more of your knowledge and information, and you need to go step outside your comfort zone. So what I did, I started working with my kunzite, my blue lace agate on my throat chakra. I did meditation daily for about 3 months, but I started seeing results about 4 weeks after I started. Suddenly I had that courage to share more information. I started to write blogs, articles about specific spiritual topics. And yeah, I could feel that shift happening. But the second phase, because there are 3 phases there so far, the second phase happened, would you believe it, during the lockdown. During the lockdown, like many other people, I started to reassess where I was at. And I had a clear nudge back to February time from Spirit to say, okay, girl, now you need to show your face. You need to do some videos maybe and have more of an impact with the outside world. And I'm thinking, me doing videos, you must be joking. I mean, that's not the sort of thing I'm doing. And surely, but yeah, I did 3 within 1 month, very short videos, only giving some advice to people how to cope with the lockdown, doing walks, doing meditation, etc. And I was quite surprised on myself. And I'm thinking, wow, yeah, okay, I can see it. But the biggie, thanks to Essence, was back in May when she contacted me and Oriane and talked to us about the IKoK group. And she started telling us, okay, girls, it's going to be, serious work here. We're going to do video chats twice a month. You're going to do Kobaha videos on, oracle cards on a weekly basis. In my head, I was thinking, okay, now I understand why Spirit was preparing me back in February doing those short videos. But seriously, on a serious note, if someone had told me back in February or even a year ago, I would be talking to you now in front of that camera, sharing my experience, some knowledge, wisdom, I would have said, no way. So was it worth it? Absolutely. It was so worth it. And it's not the end yet. I know Spirit is pushing me a bit further now, talking, you need to build your website, business plan, etc. So that's the next step. And I think now it's time for me to work on my solar plexus to find that fire in order to create something a bit more substantial. But yeah, so it is worth it, believe you me. So don't hesitate. I repeat, if you're committed, you want to do this work, join us in the group. You'll find all the information on that video. Over to you, Essence.
Okay, thank you so much. That was amazing information. Thank you very much. And thank you for sharing your experience. And she's right. She's right. Fire in the belly. Yeah, fire in the belly. Okay. We're going to quickly run through quite a bit more information very quick to understand this Dragon's Gate before we move into our meditation. All right. I've already told you about why the Lion's Gate related to the Dragon's Gate is no longer relative. So, okay, here's what happened. So 2015, the Dragon's Gate makes its first appearance. Dragon's Gates are directly related to the opening and closing, actually, of what we call golden age cycles. They always come in 11 years. Okay, they come in 11 years. They are 9 years open in the center. In other words, the first year they appear, they just appear, they don't open. In the last year, they appear, they don't open. So, but for 9 years, they open, okay? 2020, we are exactly midway of those 9 years of opening and the 11 years of appearance. Okay. When I first learned about the Dragon's Gate, it was coming through the Lion's Gate. All right. Then just recently, like I said, Navari, who I just began working with. Navari is a member of the Intergalactic Governance Board. I just began working with her. She came in and contacted me toward the end of August 2019, first part of September 2019. She came in specifically to help do the work of well, really what we're doing now, but specifically at that time, the work of the initial activation of the planetary soul star chakra, which we did last year. We'll be doing on September 11th, the second one. Okay. Fast forward. Okay. Then they tell me, okay, that she tells me, all right, reality's changed. All right. Even just from last year, this time, we would have never thought we'd be sitting in what we're sitting in, just in mainstream physical reality. Okay, we all know it's not going back. It's changed forever, and that's cool. Let's move forward. Let's do the work. Okay, let's stop wishing, wanting, you know, whatever term we want to look at, you know, waiting, wishing, wanting, waiting. There's that W. There's that W. Inside work. Yeah, W kept popping up. Okay. Wishing, wanting, and waiting. The things are going to go back to normal, to some type of new normal. No, we're creating it. We're setting out. We're setting into uncharted territory. We're going forward. We're creating the template upon which we're going to build a new collective reality, or at least we are going to be of the assistance to that. All right. So, like, okay, Lion's Gate no longer relative for the reasons we were told, because you can't keep weaving the same tapestry and think that you're going to get something new. Doesn't work. Okay, so not everything changes all at once, but some things, old things go out, new things come in. This is the way the new is woven. Okay, that's what we're doing. I'm stating this all very simply so we can kind of move forward very quickly. So then I'm like, okay, well, and if you want a little bit more detail, go listen to the last chat where I talked about this in a little bit more detail. Okay, so I'm like, okay, if the Lion's Gate is no longer relative, what happens to the Dragon's Gate? The Dragon's Gate was always associated with, because it came through the Lion's Gate. Well, guess what? Last year, toward the end, they start telling us about, and we did the initial activation of what is known as the 444-2222 dual Stargate portal. That's what was created for the shift, okay, the bridge, the crossover point, right here at 2020, Dragon's Gate. So instead of now coming out of and being associated with the Lion's Gate, it has moved to emerging from this dual Stargate portal. Okay, why the dual Stargate portal? The Dragon's Gate has changed in association. The 444 portal itself, just it by itself, is an energy portal that's about the expansion of multidimensional reality, meaning physical multidimensional form. The 2222 is a very specific multidimensional time travel portal. Remember, the 444-2222 dual Stargate portal alignment leads us across the bridge into our galactic collective experience and deep into multidimensional reality, and gives us access to many collective reality timeline experiences. In other words, it gives us many choices. That's where we're at. We're at a choice point. Kira always like that term, choice point. Blah. Okay. The Lion's Gate is masculine. Where we're going with this, the new, it's associated with Leo. Okay, we're moving away from Leo into Virgo. We'll be talking about this more in detail as we get into these next activations that are coming up, where they're really more about that. Okay, so we're moving from Leo Sirius to Virgo Spica. Remember, I mentioned the work that would be eventually taking us to connecting with our planetary stellar gateway star chakra. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, Virgo Spica is an energy and symbology that deals with the whole goal of the complete evolutionary process of humanity. Complete meaning the physical and spiritual evolution. Let's see. Very simply stated, once again, go back and listen to the last chat where I talked on this a little more. Okay. The movement away from the work with the Lionsgate starts us out of alignment with one area of our galactic and intergalactic connections and leads us into the next steps of our consciously connecting to our galactic collective reality timeline experience. Even more simply stated, we are moving beyond our relationship with Sirius, which is the Lionsgate, and also the Pleiades. The Pleiades are not with the Lionsgate, but they're very strongly connected to us right now. And that doesn't mean we're not going to connect to them at all. It's just we're weaving past that. Listen, it leads us beyond our relationship with Sirius and the Pleiades as our strongest and closest mentors, because that's what they have been for thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of years here, actually. Instead, we're beginning our movement towards coming into exist in equal knowledge with them, and this leads us to our next mentor-teacher relationships with other star civilizations and galactic civilizations who exist and reside within the greater universal galactic expanse of the Virgo supercluster, Virgo Spica. One of these new mentor teacher star civilizations is that of where the intergalactic governance board resides. There's a whole lot more to that, okay, later on. Also, let's see, recent events and connections that we'll talk more about later, but I want to throw out here so that you know about, okay? On the 14th of this month, the Immortals of Earth made initial contact with me. Now, the Immortals of Earth have a direct connection to the every year, the Scorpio full moon, the Scorpio full moon is when the planetary crown chakra opens. And with that, information is released every year as to the next lunar year cycle of the evolution, the spiritual and physical evolution of humans and the immortals connected to Earth. Okay. They made contact in order for us to begin consciously working with them in preparation for the work of the activation process of the planetary Zeal Star Chakra. That's the first of those three that's going to start September 22nd of 2022. I told you about the cosmic equinox. We'll talk more about that. I mentioned it. We'll talk more about that at another time. I'm just looking through. All right. I think I'm supposed to hang on to that information right now. Okay, so here we go. We're getting ready to do the work. Oh, I thought y'all went, God, we're never going to get there. I know, I told you there's a lot of information. Sorry. But here we go. All right. So what are we here to do this evening in this, and how are we going to do it? Okay, first of all, the main focus is the reactivation of an ancient future intergalactic communications device. By doing this, we're going to be starting, remember I just said, we're moving beyond, okay? So that we're going to open up communications with different parts and different galactic family and galactic civilizations. So this work and this Dragon's Gate starts here. So we're going to, the main focus, the reactivation of an ancient future intergalactic communications device. By doing this, we are going to be starting the process of reconnecting communications links with galactic and intergalactic family and civilizations that, to state it very simply, we lost contact with as we move deeper into denser frequency reality realms of 3 and 4D. We're beginning the process of reestablishing these communications links with star families and civilizations that we lost contact with between 50,000 and 2 million linear years ago, Earth years ago, okay? We lost contact because we came into deep, dense reality for the experience. Blah, blah, blah. So here we go. We're moving back. 2020, the year humanity goes galactic, begins the journey. Like I keep saying, when I say that to explain it, what I'm saying is 2020 is going to be the point in linear history for humans of Earth when our descendants look back and go, yeah, 2020, man, that's where it's all started. It was crazy. There was all this crazy stuff going on the planet, but it's where it all started. It's where it all began. It's where the big changes were forced. Here we go. Okay. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to travel to the center of the 444-22-22 dual Stargate portal, and that's where we're going to locate, okay, the Dragon's Gate. We're going to move into the Dragon's Gate. Once inside the Dragon's Gate, it's a surprise. We're going to do some work, but you be ready, okay? You're going to be asked to do some very specific stuff. It is, I can tell you that's associated with the planetary throat chakra. That's where we're going to work tonight. Okay, now I'm going to tell you. I'm messing with you. We're going to, I know I'm feeling honored. Must be this Dragon's Gate energy. All right. We are going to seat inside the inner secondary chamber of the planetary throat chakra, okay, a golden yellow air element octahedron, a sacred geometric form of an octahedron, okay? It's a golden yellow color and its element is air. The throat chakra center, the planetary throat chakra, is located beneath the Great Pyramid of Giza in Cairo, Egypt. Okay, but we're going through the 444-22-22 dual Stargate portal into the Dragon's Gate portal, which is very close at this point to fully open. And there we're going to do the work as we are led to do. This shows us, okay, this work, just FYI, that there's a direct connection to the 777 days. This may not make sense to you, but I want this information shared. It's just let it speak to the subconscious mind, okay? This shows us the direct connection to the 777 days of tears of the collective dark night of the soul, manifested from the work of clearing the 17.8 ATKI collective karmic imbalance created in Atlantis over 13,000 linear years ago. Okay, I'm seeing if there's anything else that we need to know about before. No. Okay, so with that stated, if everyone will now find, I'm going to get my noisy little paper out of the way here. And so that's not messing with us. And I'm going to get myself comfortable in my squeaky little chair. And everyone get ready to begin the journey. So let's begin by bringing ourselves to center, getting comfortable, get the body physically comfortable, but in a position where you can stay awake, hopefully. But if not, that's all right too. I want you to take a deep breath and breathe in, bring yourself to center, and breathe out and relax. Release the cares and the tensions of the day. Don't worry about it. All of those things that drive you crazy will be here when we get back. You can pick them up, so leave them right here. And another deep breath. And release. I would like for you to now, please, consciously realize and understand that we are beginning a journey into an extremely magnificent energy portal, one that gives us access to multidimensional realities and the ability to travel through time. Take a deep breath. If you listen very carefully, very intently, you can hear a light buzzing sound beginning in your ears. And actually, you can feel the vibration just below and behind the ears. Simply breathe and relax. You're safe. There's nothing to fear. With your next breath, I want you to visualize a golden, beautiful golden light coming down from directly above and entering into your crown chakra. As it enters into your crown chakra, it literally just simply fills your entire auric field with this beautiful golden yellow light. As you breathe in and allow this to continue, you feel the molecules in your physical form begin to vibrate faster and faster. And as they do, you begin to feel the sensation of them moving apart in distance. And as they do, the physical form begins to melt away. This golden yellow light now encompasses every molecule of your form. Breathe in and relax. Bring your inner vision to what you perceive as your third eye. And from there, I would like you to, the sensation is pulling your inner vision back inward into the pineal gland within the center of your brain, physical brain. And take another deep breath, and as you do, you feel it stimulate and expand. And there you find a golden, beautiful golden yellow orb. This is your consciousness vehicle for this journey. Please, in the fashion that is comfortable for you, seat your consciousness within this golden yellow orb and prepare to journey. As you begin feeling yourself float freely into the expansiveness of nothingness, of that space known to us as nothingness. You look around, you can look around and you can see there are other golden yellow orbs coming towards you, joining you. You are joining with a group. And every individual orb joins together into a group, still individual, yet connected. It is here we begin our journey forward. Place your attention, your focus, your vision forward before you and far in the distance. You can see a soft light beginning to come into your vision. Please begin movement toward that light. It is across a vast expanse of nothingness towards this beautiful light. Calm, you are with Star Family, all individually seated in the golden yellow orb vehicle for this journey, all traveling together, moving toward this light. As we get closer and closer, the light begins to take on a form, the form of an energy opening, an energy pulsation. This before you, as we get closer and closer, you now are beginning to recognize the 444-2222 dual Stargate portal. As we near this portal, I would like for you to look out at it. I would like for you to see and visualize, see the beauty of this portal. How does it appear to you? How is it moving? Are there colors? Do you hear sounds? Do you feel vibrations? Are there symbols floating into your consciousness? I'm going to give you just a few minutes as we continue. When I call for you next, we will all be at the very doorway together of this 444-2222 dual Stargate portal. Take just a few moments to journey there. Now that we are all gathered, I would like us to take a deep breath together, an in-breath, and on the out-breath, gently blow. And as we do, the portal will begin to open at our command. And gently exhale. And now we stand before the fully opened 444-2222 dual Stargate portal. And as we begin movement into and across the threshold of this opening, I would like for you to now focus to the very center of this portal. This portal is immense. It is vast. From the perspective that we currently hold, it appears infinitely expansive. Just simply allow yourself to be pulled energetically from the high heart. You will feel a tug toward the center of this portal. We are traveling together. Simply allow and relax into, enjoy the journey through this portal. Look out at the vast expanse, the vista before you. Continue to allow yourself to be pulled from the high heart area, what feels and you know as the high heart energy center of your consciousness form, toward the center. And as we near the center, you begin seeing a golden yellow sphere that seems very much as you and the vehicle that you're journeying in. Yet there is an energy that is beyond. It is ancient, beyond ancient, as you draw nearer and nearer. And yet it holds future beyond the future. This is the Dragon's Gate portal. And as we draw nearer, you can see that it is shining forth, and it is opening, welcoming all who visit, all who feel called, all who know this portal. It is an energy that you know. It is an energy that is warm and safe. I'd like for you to now continue your journey till you are positioned exactly in front of this Dragon's Gate portal, this beautiful golden sphere. It is large in of itself, but it is tiny in comparison to the portal, the dual Stargate portal in which it emerges from. But you can feel the strength as the energy center of your high heart is so connected to this Dragon's Gate portal. It is as if there is a tether, a beautiful golden tether, energy line connecting you. We've journeyed here for some very specific work, but before we attend to that work, I would like to give you a few moments as the individualized consciousness that you are to connect with this energy consciousness that is known as the Dragon's Gate portal, and allow any information that it offers you as the individual you are to be collected by you. Allow the energy to travel between you and the Dragon's Gate portal through this energetic cord that attaches you to from your high heart to it. I'll give you just a few moments in silence to allow that work. We now call forth all those who are in attendance, all those who have traveled here across time, space, dimensions, to participate in this grand adventure. To step fully into the Dragon's Gate portal, the energy sphere known as the Dragon's Gate portal, for each have brought with them the gift, the peace, to be implanted, to be gifted to the planetary throat chakra of Earth. That will allow the reconnection of the communications link with galactic and intergalactic family across time, space, and dimensions to begin. Please step into this portal, and as each individual steps into this portal, the creation of the golden yellow air element octahedron that is the ancient future galactic intergalactic communications device is created and activated within the Dragon's Gate. It is from here the immortals of Earth will take charge and receive the gift that has been given and implant it, seat it within the inner chamber with due diligence in due time and due course. Thank you for your gift. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. All those in attendance, please ask that you now move your consciousness back out of the sphere of the Dragon's Gate to simply be find yourself standing facing it once again. Once you have done that, ask that you visualize and move your consciousness sphere, the vehicle in which your consciousness journeyed here. You're still facing the Dragon's Gate sphere, the Dragon's Gate portal. I want you to now move in a counterclockwise direction. Continue facing the Dragon's Gate. But now you are facing it from the opposite side from which you came in. So now that you have moved your perception, you can now see through the Dragon's Gate back in the direction from which you came in through the 444-2222 dual Stargate portal. And the vista, the perception is completely changed. Reality is changing, reality is shifting across dimensions and time and space, and definitely is shifting within your current human perceived reality experience. At this point, for the journey back to your present reality, you have a choice. There is no wrong choice, there is no right choice, there is simply choice. And the choice is known by you, what is correct for you. The choice is to either walk back into this reality, into your physical form from the Dragon's Gate, or to dissolve the vehicle that you traveled there in, leaving it there, and with thought instantaneously find yourself back in your physical form, seated in your chair. I'm going to do a countdown from 7 to 0, and at 0, at 7, you will begin your journey however you intend to return. And at 0, you will find yourself back in your physical form, fully alert, fully conscious, re-energized, calm, and ready to proceed into the new perceived reality. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You are home. I want to thank everyone who joined us on this journey tonight in this most sacred work. Would like to offer for anyone who would like to say anything here, they are welcome to. If you have any questions or anything, remember we will be staying on after we end the recording of this chat, and you're welcome to ask and questions and share experiences there if you prefer. But you do have opportunity. Just know that if you do it now, it will be on the recording, and the recording will go on public. So I always just like to let everyone know that I'm looking for something here. So I apologize for the rattling of papers, trying not to. Everyone always gets really shy here. So that's okay, that's fine, we get it. But I would like to take this opportunity then to allow the other Krones to say good evening before we finish up, because we will go ahead and finish our chat as always in the energy of silence. I want to thank everyone. I'm Essence Ka, and I'm very honored, and I look forward to working with you all in the next energy work. So, Kabaha.
Well, what can I say after such a meditation? I haven't recovered yet. Well, look, my throat chakra, just a clearing happening now. I'm so humbled. It's the energy is unbelievable. Every single time we do a chat, it's just the gathering, the flow of information, and I'm just so grateful and humbled to take part of it. So thank you for everyone for taking part tonight, and I'll see you to the next chat. Good night.
I'm still coming back. I'd just like to say thank you. That was incredibly powerful. It's going to take a little while to assimilate, but I hope that your experience was equally as amazing. Thank you for joining us, and I too will see you at the next chat.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. Okay. So with that stated, we will go ahead, like I said, and we'll go ahead and finish our chat. We like to finish our chats in silence and just go out that way. But we will, when the recording finishes, be on to talk and chat and share. So with that stated, if everyone will just take, go back in just a little bit and take a deep breath. Relax, allow the energies. Remember, bring yourself back fully. We understand, but thank you again for joining us. We're very humbled. Kara unsche Nagian ja nehe gai hua ka'ai ani. I am the ancient future immortal, birthing the genesis of sacred lands. In the language of Lemuria, Kara unsche Anapa'u Nagian. I am the ancient future transitioning immortal. Kara unsche prana. I am the ancient future breath of life. Kara unsche prana. Kara unsche prana. Kara unsche prana.